The one dynamic that we don't really talk about when it comes to the crown or wearing the crown is the inheritance. Um, it's so often the case, Leo, when we discuss your being a king or a queen, we think of your regalness, how you enter the room, the amazing costumes or clothes you wear, how you love to take care of yourself, your confidence, your natural charisma. All of those things are readily talked about when we talk about the king of the zodiac, Leo. But what we don't ever talk about is the inheritance aspect of that crown on your head, and how that is probably the weightiest aspect of the crown on your head. That you inherit with being a Leo. Leos inherit a great deal of, and they shoulder a great deal of responsibility to their family. A great burden. They usually have a very deeply connected sense of where they came from, and making where they came from proud. It's an inherited responsibility. It is an honorable connection to your past, as well as a fulfillment of any kind of assumed goal or achievement, like want of achievement from your family line. There could also be a great sense of responsibility to be great or do something great because you came from mediocrity. um, Maybe people who weren't that ambitious, or simply people who could really never get ahead, or you may come from a line of very successful people, and you know what, you need to keep that up. But all Leos inherit a sense of responsibility from the past, and that's what fixes them as a fire sign. It's that sense of duty and responsibility that comes with being the center of the solar system, being the center of anything. I've said this about Leos before. Leos, unless they're sick or upset, something's wrong with their heads, like really. A Leo loves to be paid attention to. They love people who flatter them. Absolutely. They need worship and adoration, as any monarch does. But real Leos are only happy when their pride is happy. They take a great deal of pride in their pride. And part of the extension of their ego is how everybody around them is doing, how everybody around them is being treated, how everybody around them perceives their life. Leos want their whole pride to be happy. They don't just want themselves to be happy. It is important for them, for everybody around, to take part in the pride or the achievement or the accomplishment. Yes, they want to be in the fucking spotlight, but that doesn't actually diminish how they then reflect that light or offer to share that light with others, because they are natural leaders. And a leader is not a leader doesn't lead from a pedestal. You can't. There's not enough room to move around. So there is this heavy sense of duty and responsibility to have people be impressed with the way that you're leading, or what you're providing, and what you're showing, what you're coming up with, what you're putting out. And there has been a lot in you that has been put into question, thrown into turmoil. There was an event recently. It could be last month, could be 2 months ago, but it was recent enough that it made you question your sense of self-worth. It made you question your sense of self-control. It could have made you question relationships in your life, question them as in, wow, I thought I was really sure of that person, even if it was yourself. I thought I was really sure of that person, and now who the hell are they? And so it's very difficult, or it has been very difficult for you to basically continue to lead from that platform. So what many of you have done is a very un-Leo-like thing to do, but it was very smart, very necessary, was to basically fall back. You know, let me take pride from the back of the line. Let me see how much I've really taught them, how much I've really shared with them, and how much they've really picked up. I got to fall back right now. A big part of it is because you need to look inside you. You know that you saw that there was something off. You saw that there was an issue with your life. You saw it. You took the time to self-recognize. And I think it had a lot to do with personal growth, personal development, but also your family tree. The sense of where you're going from here on in based on the resources that you gained, what you've done so far with the resources you were born with, and how far have you come? Have you fallen right by the tree? You know, did you see something in yourself that you had worked really hard to move out of, to extinguish? Did you see something in yourself that reminded you of somebody from the past that really horrified you? You know, you could come from a very successful family, but maybe a behavior in yourself relatively recently. And this is self-exploration. It's exactly what you're supposed to be doing, especially with Mars in retrograde. It's the only thing that really can get done with all these planets in retrograde, is that in sort of self-investigation, a sense of the person that horrified me most in my life was the reflection I saw in the mirror when I looked in the mirror the other day. I don't know if anybody else saw it. Maybe they did, but this is the one time where it's really not about what anybody else thinks of me. It really is, I'm disappointed in me. Now, this was self-condemning. This was not believing somebody else's accusations about you or letting them talk shit about you. No, this was you kind of giving yourself a chill because you realized, crap, I thought I'd come so much farther. And here I am realizing and recognizing that I've fallen right next to the tree. What am I doing? You just took some time to really go inside yourself, lovingly, non-critically, but very objectively, to actually took a lot of courage. Not be afraid to see what you were afraid to see, what you never wanted to see. Not that you were trying to hide it. No, this was all self-investigation. It's not even like you're aware. That's what I said. There's a little bit something un-Leo about you, and that is that you have not regressed, but taken a step back, and you have become very introspective. It's not about what people out the outside think of you. It's about what it's about what you think of you and what you're seeing inside of yourself. And there is a sense of, I need to fix this. I need to heal. There was an incident. This is how I know. This card is how I know. There was an incident of very, very, very high vibration. Like very, very chilling, like mind bleeding, too much energy, like energy that was just so high vibrational, it almost cracked the glass. It's like there was just too much of that kind of shocking energy around you for too prolonged a period of time recently. Maybe you were working 20-hour days and you did it for 3 months straight. Maybe you were had never had children around you and then had to live with your relatives for like 3 weeks, and the sound, the chaos, the craziness, it was too much. Maybe there's a sense of your relationship having been on the rocks and you've been arguing a lot lately. There was something that was extremely extreme that you dealt with or sort of stepped outside of yourself and witnessed yourself going through, and it was too much. It was a lot. And so in reaction to this, you have just taking all of you in stock and seeing, wow, that high vibration really shook me. Are there any cracks in the walls? You know what I'm saying? Are there any cracks in the pipe? Let me inspect everything now because it needs going over. It also needs going over because how did that happen? Where did that come from? And is there any way I can avoid having that happen again? Because I know its impact. I know its disharmonious impact on what I am trying so hard to build. Reclaim your energy, putting yourself back into balance, getting back this sense of faith in yourself, and recharging, being in a place where you can regenerate your energy. Even if regenerating your energy means seeing something that you need to change, being in a position where the truth and reality that you have seen is inspiring you to change something in yourself. And yes, Leo, you are finding a place away from things where you can recharge your energy. You're taking a step back. This is not, is it like Leo? No, but you're taking a step back. You don't want the spotlight on you right now. You certainly don't want, you just don't want to be analyzed. There's too much for you to do to analyze it yourself. You don't want to be analyzed by somebody else. You don't want other people's chaos, or you don't want anybody else distracting you. You really want to go and retreat, and it's like you've seen something inside yourself that you want to reprogram. And how does that impact this reading? It's all got to do with something stemming from a family tree, something that you've inherited, a disorder that you've inherited, a behavior that you've inherited, an addiction that you've been inherited, a disease that you've inherited, a business that you've inherited, something that you've inherited that is actually darker and a lot more problematic. I think you knew about it on some levels, but for those of you who did know about it, that's who it really, this run-in with that say behavior, it really tripped you up, because you're like, oh no, that can't be part of me. Not that person there. That person there, I can't stand. How did they show up in the mirror? That's horrifying. I don't want to be that person. I thought I'd come so far and been everybody but that person. And now for a split second, it's like I've inherited them. But you're getting real with yourself. And this is where your courage is. It's like, I'm going to let myself be weak the way not really weak, it's actually really strong, but I'm going to let myself be split wide open, be put into a vulnerable position so that I can rethink everything that's going on inside myself, reassess it, and reprogram it. Because there is some sort of snake here. There is some sort of healing that has to happen inside of me. There is something that is a little bit broke, and saying, you know what, I really need help with this. I really need to find out more about this, because I care more about this than I do building my pride up around it to protect it so that I still look good. I would rather everybody see me without my makeup, walk into the street, walk into the mailbox with my bunny slippers and my tattered bathrobe. I would rather them see me doing that now than have to be fake and pretend like I'm not going through something. Because it's that openness and that strength and courage to admit that you're going through something that's actually allowing you to reclaim your power, reclaim your control, reclaim your strength by reprogramming what you inherited. Reprogramming it so it doesn't pop up again. This was the one card. I was kept being drawn to the Wisdom of the Golden Path deck, and I shuffled quite a few times, and bam, this is the card that comes out. Self-worth. That's huge. Something has tattered you. Something has shaken you. It could have been these experiences from childhood, making you become even more forceful with your perseverance and your personality. Or it could be the fact that, your self-worth is damaged because it rides on this egotistical version of yourself, when really inside you're tattered, you're scared, you don't feel worthy, and you're lonely. And it's all those things are making you feel threatened. Making you feel threatened. You were subjected, maybe in a foreign land, to, or definitely something outside of your comfort zone, a situation outside of your comfort zone. You were subjected to a great deal of degradation. Something that really ripped you apart inside and made your world permanently not okay. And maybe it was too far away for you to run and hide or go anywhere to protect yourself. But ultimately, it was that environment that kind of like made you weather worn, ripped you apart, ripped you into pieces. And maybe this is also a similar experience to somebody in your family, to an experience that they had. Realizing that the experience itself may be what has hurt you in some way, harmed you, or, brought out a character trait that, forget it, we all have different character traits. This character trait is not so under your own control. And that's what makes it dangerous. It sort of just pops out when it pops out, and it's not making you any friends. And it's not about popularity. It is about the danger and the degradation it's doing to your life, as well as your relationship to others. And remember, it's so important for you to have that fluidity, that connection from your past through you to the future. That sense of connection and heredity, and what have you inherited? Have you expanded the branches and grown the branches, as opposed to kill them? There is this sense of really feeling shit about yourself because you're like, crap, I just poisoned the next generation with the same shit that I was so unself-aware. I didn't change my behavior. Something like this is happening to you right now, and you're learning to just be brave and stay in places that you normally wouldn't stay, or be attracted to going to places where you normally wouldn't go, simply for the sake of A, anonymity, and B, just needing to breathe out and feel safe in a position where, everybody wants to get at you. Everybody wants to ask you questions. Everybody keeps talking to you. Like, everybody always wants access to you. And where you'd normally love that, you're very wary of it right now. Oh, sorry. I apologize, Leo. I'm a little sleepy, though. Leo. Leo. Let's get into your main reading. Leo. This has something to do with your health. Not feeling well, or having your heart broken. It flipped over. That's how I know. Surrender now. Give over, let go. But I think this was something that happened in the past. This is you letting into your more baser instincts and just like a moth to a flame, heading right into the danger zone and literally blowing yourself up. AKA, you did something stupid. This is Sagittarius energy. Or you felt like whatever this predicament you found yourself in, it was inevitable. There was no way that you could get out of it. It's almost like inheritance. It's like being diagnosed with diabetes, you know? There's a sense of there's no way I could dodge this bullet, so I might as well just fly right toward it, kamikaze style. Watch and wait, Pisces energy. There was an onlooker here, somebody looking on, watching you crash and burn. They weren't judging you. You thought they were. They weren't judging you. They were worried about you. They were wondering, is that going to be me in a few years? Did I inherit this too? Is this a generational curse that I'm not going to ever be able to get out of? No. You can break generational curses, but first you have to acknowledge them. And this is definitely the past. Could have something to do with a father that crashed and burned, or a father that maybe wasn't around for you, or a father that just like made stupid decisions and now they're a reflection upon you, and you never wanted to be a reflection of those stupid decisions. Your goal in life was to get as far away from those stupid decisions or being in any way related to those stupid situations that you could like be as far removed as you could. But somehow you find yourself back. See, the past is impacting how quickly and how far ahead you can move. The past is influencing the future. Sometimes this is good, sometimes this is bad. In this case, it is it's both. And I don't say that as a cop-out. I say that because it's both. It's like it's bad in that it's holding you back, or the shame of it is holding you back. It's bad in that the behavior itself is bad. But it's good in that this is the beginning. This is the exposure. And now you see all the skeletons in the closet and you can deal with them. See, this is about looking to the future. As a fire sign, lizards are very fire-oriented animal totem. Looking into the future, being optimistic about the future is a way, like you want to keep your eyes on the skeleton and you want to be sure that they're not buried anywhere near where you're heading in the future. You want to leave the past in the past, but in order to do that, you have to identify it. You have to know how to trap it, and you have to know how to get rid of it. Right? That's the only way you can actually leave your past in the past. And on some level, I feel like the past is retaliating, or almost retaliating, in that it's almost like, oh, you're trying to get rid of me? No way. And then all of a sudden, it shows you, the past shows you a piece of it in yourself. And you're like, oh shit, how am I supposed to remove my own foot? This is a lot more complicated than I thought it was. It is a complicated situation. And I'm glad that you're stepping back and you're taking that time for yourself. We have heartbreak, even poor health. Getting news of poor health that is related to, it's getting news of poor health that is related to your mother's side, or your father's side, your parents' DNA, genetics. It's that's what it is. News that you don't want to hear. It's very unwelcome news. But it's almost like you get told, oh, guess what? You have the same kind of heart palpitation your grandfather did. You have the same kind of cholesterol problems your grandmother did. This is usually like grandparent energy, not just patriarchal, matriarchal, but like in the past, right? So there's a sense of finding out or hearing news that you didn't want to hear. Or something to do with words, something to do with speech, something to do with talking in a way that it's like that was from your past. Like maybe yelling too much or screaming too much and being around, all of a sudden hearing it come out of your mouth, knowing how horrible it was to be around that and grow up around that as a child, all of a sudden you caught yourself doing it, being the one that said the thing that would hurt your children for generations to come. And you're like, shit, if I could just grab back those words and swallow them and shit them out and never have anybody know, that's what I would do now. But there was sort of an unawareness about while you were involved in the action, or impulsivity while you were involved in the action that you just didn't understand the fallout for. You didn't think about it. You couldn't think that quickly. And now it's like, once you've recognized that behavior, as horrified as you are finding a way to take another step. Angel cards. Let's get into the angel messages for you to see what the angels are trying to tell you today. Angels, what are you trying to tell Leo? What do you need from them? Angels, 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 angels. There's a lot here. So there's a lot that they want you to know. First of all, surrender. There is no point in pushing the barrow up such a steep hill. Go back to the start. Surrender your expectations. There is an easier way. When the time is right, a new path will appear. So this is you relinquishing control. And like I said, Spirit wants you to take a few steps back for a second, Leo. Prayer. No matter how difficult the situation may seem, all is possible. Ask. We are listening. Sometimes, Leo, you can take so much of the burden of everything upon your shoulders that you forget a king's supposed to be able to delegate what they need. They're not supposed to sit there and actually do it all themselves, or even take all the credit for themselves. I don't think you diminish your rulership by giving credit where it's due. I think you strengthen it, because now you're strengthening the loyalty of your subjects. And it's almost like realizing that and recognizing it in order to remedy those repeated, very derogatory patterns that are hurting you or harming you, harming your own life. The next card was prayer. We've already read that one. And now we have courage, which has been all over this reading. You have what it takes. Just do it. We, your angels, are here to support you. Determination. Determination, perseverance, and patience will lead to positive outcomes. So you're not there yet, and you just recognize something about yourself that was extremely important. So stick with it now. Stick with it with that new knowledge. Remember my analogy of the stop sign. You've just come to a stop sign, which is irritating because, hey, you were cruising along, and now you've come screeching to a halt. That is not where you build your home. It's where you stop to assess the situation before you make the next decision about which direction you want to go. And I think you've already made the decision, where do I go? But it's like, okay, how do I get there? And who do I want to go with? Okay, all of those things can be answered step by step, as long as we're real and true with what's going on underneath the surface. Determination and courage, determination, perseverance, and patience will lead to positive outcomes. And then we have positive thinking. Positive thinking is vital in creating a healthy and abundant life. A positive attitude, along with positive beliefs and thoughts, are crucial ingredients for creating happiness. Don't worry, think love. And what is love? Love is connection. Be connected. Connect to people. Even if the price seems too high, or it seems off, like the opportunity seems off. Like, no. The point is, if you're in the right place, things will come to you, right? If you're asking for things that were meant for you, those things that were meant for you are going to come to you. Positive thinking is just a sense, don't worry, think love. Positive thinking is just keep your mind in a mindset that's playing that tonality that is high enough to lift you into that harmonious zone. It's not just about positivity, it's about negativity too. It's about, did you find your balance? Have you found your balance? This is a real goal right now. Destiny. Your destiny is to blossom, to shine, to transform to ever greater light. So you're nowhere near your destiny, and nothing on earth could compare to the immortal destiny you have. So it's like, why are you fighting so hard for this shit? It's fleeting. Oh, a lot of cards snuck out. Wow. Harmony, which I just mentioned. Disharmony occurs when we try to resist life's natural flow. Everything has its cycle. Every stage of life has its own unique meaning and purpose. Every day can be harmonious if we want it to be. Because harmony is not about speaking. Harmony is about being a really good listener. Do it now. It's your fear that it's talking about. Confront your fear. Confront that demon that lives inside of you. Confront it, because you don't want to pass this on to generations that come. Don't put it off any longer. Have courage. Listen to your intuition, for it is the guiding voice of your soul. And so often we get our intuition confused for what our ego is telling us. It's very deceptive, that ego. We get it really messed up, and it causes a lot of issues in our life, because then we attach our pride to something that it was never actually that important to begin with. Precious gift, friendship, family, and love are precious gifts. Do not lose sight of what is most important, and it means your family. That's what it means. Maybe even extended family, like to mom or grandparents, but that's what it means. Friendship, family, and love are precious gifts. This is you recognizing it and making a decision to spend more time with people that really matter in your life, instead of, any kind of fakeness or falsehood. Here we have love. The heart of love is the heart of creation. All is possible through love. All is worthwhile for love. May all you think and feel reflect love's eternal truth. Get help. Get counseling. Love yourself and have compassion enough for yourself to don't do this alone. Don't do this alone. This challenge is not for you to do alone. Yes, you may have gotten yourself into some shit heap load of trouble alone, so you pay the consequences of those actions alone. Okay, but ultimately the rest of this scenario, you really do still need help. And this is bringing you back to being able to acknowledge that. Sacred knowledge. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Feel the peace within. Beyond your truth, your thoughts, lies your eternal truth. The I am presence of eternal love. Oh, sorry. Miracle. Our wings of light surround you and those you love. This current situation is governed by a higher power. 333, I just saw it. It's amazing. This current situation is governed by a higher power. The forces of love are at work. All will turn out well. Somebody loves you a great deal, and it could have been an ancestor that's passed. Maybe the person who is very sorry for passing this on to you. They're trying to reach out to you and guide you through this, because you're not alone. And they're trying to pull strings for you, because you're not alone. All will work out well. The current situation is governed by a higher power. In other words, the universe itself stepped in and said, things are too messed up and convoluted here. I got to take over for a while. The forces of love are at work. All will turn out well. Last but not least, sacred space. We, your guardian angels, surround you with emerald, gold, and rose pink light. Surrender your concerns and worries and enter this sacred space of love and healing. We, your guardian angels, surround you. Surrender your concerns and worries and enter this sacred space. You're going to be trying something new soon, trying something different, taking a leap of faith. It's imperative for your personal growth. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. I'm going to do a full tarot card spread. The link is below. Leo, I'll catch you over there.